Six Flags Magic Mountain is the park that I've been to the most, and I feel like I have a lot of good knowledge about the park. So in today's video, I will be telling you all what my 5-year plan for Six Flags Magic Mountain is. What's up guys, Cam here. Before I get into today's video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. Now, I said 5-year plan, but right now I'm just going to go over what I think 2024 will bring. Now, what I think 2024 will bring for Magic Mountain is nothing, really. Except maybe we might see a relocation of Flash Speed Force into the old Pistachio Park area, or maybe a new water slide. That is just what I think on 2024's Magic Mountain. Now let's head into the real 5-year plan. So starting off in 2025, I think that we will be getting our Vekoma or Intamin motorbike coaster. This will be, of course, with the hints of them saying cycling and of course, the Golden Bear Theater plot of land. We will possibly be seeing this being a motorbike coaster. Now, other than that, I don't really think we have much going for Six Flags Magic Mountain past then. We don't really have any new updates. Maybe a new flat ride. We aren't really sure what's going on right now. Let's head to 2026. Now, you see, there are two things that Magic Mountain will have to keep an eye on. Number one is the 2028 Olympics that will be happening in LA, and that will bring a whole lot of traffic to Magic Mountain. Magic Mountain isn't necessarily right next to LA, but it's in a relatively close distance, and since it's being the #1 park for roller coasters, people want to go there, and it's a tourist destination, and I think people would want to go to Magic Mountain, but they need to win it over to have more win against Disney, Universal, SeaWorld, Knott's, and that's possible. And not to mention, Energylandia might be trying to get the record for Magic Mountain. Energylandia has 19 roller coasters. Not to mention Canada's Wonderland will have about 19, tied with Energylandia. So they've got, if they want to keep this record, they're going to have to keep adding. That's also going to help bring more traffic into Magic Mountain. So let's start off with the 2026 prediction. My 2026 prediction is that they take the overflow parking lot and they turn that into a massive parking structure. Now, what I think they could do with this massive parking structure is that you can see there's a ton of like random stuff here that you could honestly just plop on top of the parking structure. It would be surprisingly easy, and you could also use that top floor for employee parking, and it would just be a much easier thing to do than having to deal with all this crap. And that would also help with more parking for the park, and not to mention that it would be much easier to expand into the other areas of the parking lot. And then I have another prediction for what might happen to Magic Mountain. There's this plot of land over here that Magic Mountain does, in fact, I do think they own. Because you see there's a road that goes through here, and there's a lot of stuff that they could do with this plot of land. Not to mention that they could also flatten out this land, and what I think they could do is they're going to build a hotel. They're going to build Magic Mountain's first hotel ever. First ever Six Flags Magic Mountain hotel, since there's not a lot of hotels in the area. I mean, there are some, but there's not a whole lot. And I think that they could definitely work with some hotel kind of staying area. But that is the 2026 prediction. And we're going to have to say goodbye. I think you all know who I'm talking about. Who rode in this ride twice. It's amazing, but unfortunately, it's just such an kind of like ear sore to the park. It's super loud, not to mention its downtime is incredible, and it's a low capacity ride. I think that they will get rid of this by the end of 2026. Now let's head into a much more positive note, into 2027. With the new parking structure, they would be able to get rid of a lot of the area that this stuff takes up, and with that, if you were to get rid of the steampunk-esque theater, you would have this massive plot of land that I'm currently circling. You'd have this gigantic plot of land. And from what we see, we could possibly see two things. Number one is a new dark ride. This is kind of like a dark ride from that one dark ride at Hard Rock Park. It would be like kind of psychedelic, kind of steampunk at the same time. Probably, I saw this concept for a ride called the Great Locomotive Chase. I think that would do perfect in the steampunk district, but also it could be anything. But I think you all know where I'm going with this one. I think that we are, of course, gonna see an indoor roller coaster. We might see a non-indoor roller coaster, but I'm crossing my fingers that this is an indoor roller coaster themed to space. We don't know, kind of like Space Mountain. I think this could be built by Gersla or Mauer, or heck, even like Intamin. Maybe you can see our first indoor B&M, but we aren't really sure of what we're gonna see. But I think that this can be an indoor roller coaster. And then, of course, we have to head into 2028. I think we're on 2028. Like, I think that was 2027, 2026. Yeah, we're into 2028, and we're gonna have to put it into overdrive. It is the LA Olympics, and now they're gonna have to do something crazy. Number one is I think they're gonna add kind of like, I don't know, maybe a shoot the shoots ride tidal wave ? I just want my tidal wave back, but that's not the point. I think they might add like a small little water ride, something more for kids that will help out with the Bugs Bunny area. And number two is there's this small plot of land right next to DC Universe that could honestly be used for the joke. I'm talking about the SNS 4D free spin. Now I understand that there's already a 4D roller coaster at the park, but that doesn't really matter because a 4D free spin would do extremely well at this park. First off, we don't have an actual spinning coaster. I mean, you could make that indoor roller coaster a spinning roller coaster, but other than that, they don't really have a lot to work with in the spinning department. So an SNS 4D free spin would do really well. Plus, it's not very expensive. It could cost like, I don't know, a couple million. But Magic Mountain makes that in about a month. But now we're at the big dog, 2028. With the removal of Superman Escape from Krypton, now what do they do with this plot of land? Well, I think they're going to keep the tower since Lex Luthor Drop of Doom is an extremely popular ride. Not to mention, it is a top-tier ride. It's the tallest at the park, actually. But yeah, you all know what I'm talking about. It's a Giga coaster. I want my Giga coaster. And we could honestly see Superman Return of Krypton is a Intamin Giga roller coaster that takes the one of the sides and is a lift hill, and the other side is a brake run. They don't really have to do a lot. They just have to tear out the ride, put a new ride in, and just do that. But that is what I think on the 2028. And for 2029, I don't think that they're gonna add anything else. They've just had a crazy year. I think maybe a flat ride or anything really might help Magic Mountain in this case. We don't really know for sure what's going to happen. And then, of course, 2030. Now, I do think that they will try to add another coaster in 2030. Now, I said that they could use a small water ride. If they don't get that, then I think that they will add a water coaster, kind of like Cedar Point might be getting. I'll do that. I'll talk to that in another video, probably Tuesday's video. I'm not sure, but they might do a water coaster. Now, I'm thinking a water coaster in Samurai Summit. Now, they need a new ride. Now, I know that they just got Superman Return of Krypton, but it's also two rides up there, and those two are gonna be very popular. I think that Ninja's here for the staying, but I do think that Jetstream does have some time left. I don't think it has 15 years left in it. I think it has so I think that for their 2030 edition, they will remove Jetstream and they will put in a water coaster that will boost their count up to like 25. I think they will also at some point get another family or kiddie roller coaster, something extremely small, and people might say they should get a wooden coaster or something like that. I don't think that they should get that kind of stuff. I think that they are perfectly content with what they have, but they will need to expand very further. But if I were to put one that is the least likely, I'm betting on the parking structure. Parking structures are very, very expensive, and I'm not really sure what they're going to do at this point, but I hope that my predictions are correct, because that would be so cool if they were correct, and this park would just be so much better if it was correct. This park could use some repaint, more maintenance, and that kind of stuff, but I definitely think that they could focus on those kind of coasters. But that is it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you for all the likes and views on the recent videos. But yeah, see you all in the next one. Goodbye.